Happy Friday, leaders. Y'all, someone done took my chapstick from my desk. And I don't know which child it was. Ugh, that's annoying. Okay, I wanted to come live and train you on something that we talk about a lot, but I have not been doing the best, okay? And I really feel like sometimes God puts things, but I don't believe in coincidences, okay? Hey, Marissa, but I do feel like sometimes God will put something in your life over and over and over again until you start to really look at it. Hey, Danielle, and you're like, wait a minute. Are you talking to me? Like, this is a theme that's happening over and over again, okay? So this has been my theme, all right? And I don't want to say I pride myself on being real and honest, but I do feel like it's something I try to work pretty hard at doing because it's something I really value. But we were at Torchy's Tacos the other day from Texas. You know, okay? It's delicious. And you see this right here, okay? You see all these, okay? I don't do well with dairy. I don't do well with gluten. I know this. So I can stay away from gluten really easily. But Torchy's queso, y'all, it just does something to a girl. It is so freaking good that I refuse to not eat it. So I'm eating it, and then I wake up the next day, okay, with all the facial issues, and my husband said, I don't know why you're not just real with yourself. You don't handle dairy well. Okay, that's rude, okay? Like, mind your business, all right? Stomach's a mess, face is breaking out, mind your business, okay? And then I was talking to Whitney, and I was just talking to her about what I've been struggling with. So we're going to get real nitty gritty down Anya's business right now. So just be ready, okay? But I've just been telling her about my struggles. I've recently been placed on anxiety medicine, okay? On top of my ADHD medicine because I don't feel anxious, but my heart is being squeezed, okay? I'm having bad anxiety attacks and I'm like, what is going on? Like debilitating, can't drive across a big bridge because Texas, we have like highways on top of highways, okay? The highest one, can't drive across a bridge. If I know it's coming up, we're not doing it. I will find a way to not go on that bridge. I've been struggling, okay? So I don't feel anxious necessarily until the bridge. But my body is showing me that I'm anxious, okay? My body's like, girl, chill out. So I'm on anxiety medicine. So I'm talking to Whitney, and she was like, you got to be realistic with what you're doing. And I've been talking to Kevin too, and he's like, your hands are in so many different pots that you either have to be okay with kind of being mediocre if you're not going to let something go, or you're going to have to let something go with all the things that you do, and you are going to have to be what you want to be, which is the best of the best in all those things. But I love everything that I'm doing. So if I'm truly loving everything that I'm doing, I need to be realistic. I need to be honest with myself, and I need to be okay with maybe lessening how good I am at things and not putting the pressure on myself to be the best of the best when I want to do all the things, okay? So all these conversations are happening, and I'm like, all right, we're going to do a training on being realistic, okay? So the first thing, all that to say, y'all, you just got all the whole business. Ugh, sorry. All that to say, you need to be real in your business and in your life, but you also need to be realistic in all of these areas too. So the first place you're going to start is being realistic with yourself. What do you really want to accomplish in this life? Not just in your business, not just in your family life, in your personal life. What do you really want to accomplish, okay? What are your weak spots? You have to be real about your weak spots. You are not good at everything. We are human, right? And that's okay, but you need to be real about what those weak spots are, okay? I know that I like to do all the things. It's a weak spot. I also don't like to say no. It's a weak spot. I like to people please. It's a weak spot. I know these things, okay? What are your strengths, all right? What do you love to do to your core, okay? For me, when Kevin was talking to me and he's like, you got so much on your plate, you got to drop something. I'm like, I don't want to. I love teaching. I love homeschooling my kids. I fully believe that God has put me in that for a reason, okay? And I know that he did put homeschooling on my heart at the right time for a reason. I didn't know that I was going to go through a mess with my husband, but I can't imagine when we went through what we did so many years ago, my kids going to school and their dad not being home, all the stuff being gone, and then them having to go to school through that. You see what I'm saying? We really leaned on each other during that time. So I know I'm where I'm supposed to be when it comes to homeschooling. But I had to think, like, what really matters. I love everything that I'm doing. Well, if I love everything that I'm doing to my core, then I've got to figure something out. Okay? So it's been a whole lot of self-discovery the past few days. What is working for your life? What's not working for your life? Drop it, okay? I think it's Chastity Robinson that said, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. We really need to do that. In the age of social media and Pinterest moms and perfection, we as people in general, we want the perfect body. We want to have the perfect skin. We want to have the perfect hair, long and flowy and nice. We want to do all these things, be physically fit, okay? But we have to be realistic with ourselves, okay? If you don't like to work out, don't work out. Go for a walk once in a while, okay? Call it a day, but don't push yourself to do something you absolutely cannot stand. Don't do it, all right? So what are your personal goals or even your life habits that you want to create? And you need to be intentional and honest when you're trying to add those to your life, because lots of people do New Year's resolutions. What do we want to do better this year, right? We want to add things to our life, but we've got to be intentional and honest with how those are going to fit in. For me, I love working out, okay? I'm a better mom, a better wife, a better person in general. I'm nicer, I'm happier when I work out. Going to the gym every single day is not realistic to me. In my lifestyle, it's not. I have to be honest with myself that between homeschooling, running a business, and just life in general, some days I'm going to have to put on a workout video, do a 30-minute workout in my living room. Not that this didn't just happen a few hours ago, with one of my kids spilling water on me, asking me for help with math, the other one's fighting that I have to break it up. I have to be willing to know that is my life. And if I want that workout, sometimes if I'm not willing to wake up early, that I'm going to get water spilled on me and it's going to be a whole hot mess and I'm going to have to pause the video 15 times. Okay? I got to be real, all right? All right, next. In your personal business, you need to be real about your goals. You've got to be real about your goals. If you normally put in 700 PRV-ish, you cannot sit there and realistically say, this month, I'm going to get 7K. I mean, unless you know something I don't know, but that's like really unrealistic, okay? You need to be real and honest with yourselves. What can I accomplish? What am I willing to work for? Truly and honestly. Big dreams and big goals are amazing, and I love those, y'all. I absolutely love those, and I thrive on those. But we need to be realistic when it comes to that. It's okay if it takes you a little bit longer, okay? So communicate your goals intentionally and honestly with those who are willing to help you, okay? Those who are willing to invest time into you and your business, all right? About where you want to be, and then you need to do it with yourself about where you're trying to be, okay? And how long that's going to take you, all right? For example, are you even going to send those mail outs out by the 1st? Be real, because I'm not. I'm just going to be real honest with you. I'm not. Okay. They sat here until last weekend. They just did. Okay. And then I did all the things. I know how I work. I was talking to Sylvia earlier. Talked to a lot of people, clearly. I do balls to the walls on one day. I will do everything. Everything will get done. I'm catching up. I'm feeling amazing. The next day, y'all, your girl is sitting on the couch. Like, just done. Okay, that's how I, especially with ADHD, that's how I work. It is like crazy. We're going to get everything done. We're going to dust the ceiling fans and we're going to work and we're going to homeschool the kids and we're going to do all these errands. And then the next day I'm like, hey kids, read a book to me. Like, that's just me. Okay. So I have to be realistic with myself. All right. Another thing, is it 100% necessary for you to get those mail outs, for example, done on the 1st of the month? If it is to you, if that's very important to you, then cool. But if it's not, and you're like, this can wait, glass balls versus plastic balls, I can drop this, catch it on the way up, and make sure I don't drop one of my glass balls, okay? That's okay, all right? Be realistic about how many party conversations you're actually having. That's why we say ask, track, follow up, okay? You got to be realistic, because sometimes I be thinking I have all kinds of conversations, and I go back and look, and I'm like, girl, that was not all those conversations, okay? You did something in your head where you thought you were doing a whole lot more than you were really doing, okay? Same thing with your sponsoring conversations, all right? Again, I have huge, huge goals with this business, and I know I watch it change my own life. I've watched it change other people's lives. I know that what it can do, okay? I'm a big, big dreamer, all right? I also know I homeschool. I direct our homeschooling Challenge A program for the 7th graders, all right? I teach the 7th graders all day on Thursday. I teach my own dang kids, right? I've been planning science fair since the beginning of January because I'm in charge of it. I've been helping my class get ready for science fair and my own kid. I'm running my business. I'm trying to be a good leader. I'm trying to be a decent wife and mom. And I'm trying to just live life. Got ADHD. I've got anxiety. Your girl is a mess, okay? So if I'm being real and I put out there, my goals are to get 5 new club members, 5K PRV this month, and I want 17 people to promote, and I'm going to sponsor 7 people, okay? Without a mental breakdown, without me being a complete B word, okay, to my family, and without me acting like I'm something I'm not, it's not going to happen. And I have to be okay with that. I can still have my big goals and my big dreams, but I need to be real. Something Whitney and I were talking about. She's like, you have to be real. And I'm like, you're right. She's like, it might take you longer to get where you want to be because you have to do things in smaller increments. So if you're like, well, I'm not someone who stays at home all day and I have a 9 to 5, but I have these big goals and these dreams, they're obtainable. But you need to take smaller chunks maybe than someone else, and that's okay. If you cannot sit there and work your business 24/6, because you need a day of rest, let's just be real, okay? 24/6, you cannot work your business in that. Instead, you can only maybe work your business for an hour a day, 6 hours a week, right? 1 day of rest. So for 6 days, that's okay. But you need to be realistic in how long it's going to take you to reach your end goal versus someone who's like, I'm balls to the walls. I'm home all day. This is my main focus. I got no kids at home. I got nothing going on. It's going to be different. And that's okay. All right. You need to be okay with that. That's okay. Also, we share a lot in Sensi and it's wonderful and amazing, but you need to be real and authentic in the words you use. Do not take someone else's post verbatim. It does not sound like you. All right? Okay? If I have some of my Michigan girls over here saying y'all, it's not going to sound like them. It's going to sound like Anya who lives in Texas or my people in the South. Okay? Be realistic in your verbiage. All right? I hope you have shoes and socks on because we're about to go to the store. You're going to get in trouble. He don't have shoes and socks on. Wear your Darth Vader costume, but shoes and socks. Don't care. Okay, next. You need to be realistic in your leadership. You need to be realistic. We talking about you wearing Darth Vader. Be your true self, okay? That's a no. Be as confident as a kid is in a superhero outfit. As you should. That's how you should be in yourself, okay? Because that's about to go full y'all, helmet and all. He's about to go full Darth Vader, okay? To the store. It's going to be fine. All right, next. Be authentic and real in your leadership. So being honest with your team about your goals. I will be very real and honest with you. My pride, okay? I've come to realize it is my pride. I want to lead in PRV. I want to lead in sponsoring. I want to lead in goals. I never want my team to think that I'm being lazy or, oh, yeah, Anya just wants to get her, 2K PRV and call it a day, okay? But I also don't want my people to see me losing my heart for this business or losing my heart for them because I'm a complete mental wreck. All right. And that's something I was experiencing before Christmas. I tell them all the time, it's your business. You do what you want to do. There's literally a place for everybody, whether you're a hobbyist, whether you want to be an SSD, whether you want to be whatever. Let's be real. Not everybody's going to be an SSD. Not everybody wants to be an SSD. That's okay. Hey, Angelina, that's okay. But I tell my team that all the time. It's your business. I'm here to support your goals. So guess what? It's my business. Okay? So my goals are mine. And if my team is like, Anya only wants to get 2K PRV, dang, she hasn't sponsored anybody in 2 months. That is true. Okay? But I'm showing up and I'm doing the work and I have a heart for them and I have a heart for this business. I'm still a good leader if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, okay? So in your leadership, be real about your intentions with your own goals, but also with your team, okay? One thing that I really just honor so much is when I was going through the really hard time with my husband and Whitney's like, listen, I want to help you, but I cannot help you basically more than you're willing to help yourself. So when you're ready, you let me know. that is so wonderful to me because it wasn't her business. And when I was ready, I came back and I came back with a freaking vengeance. Okay. And I got to the top of the company. So that's something we really need to remember in our leadership. Okay. Being real and authentic with our people and our intentions with them. I want to help you, but I'm not going to do more work for your business than you should be doing. Okay. That's real and authentic. You don't have to be an a-hole about it, but be honest because you have a life and a business too. All right. Be real about where you want to help your team to get to be. Okay. So that you're there for them. Be real when it comes to your vision for your team. Yes, you should have a vision for your team if you're a leader. What do you want your team to look like? What do you want the culture to be like one day? Do you want them to be a community, a family? Like, what do you want for the vision? You want to have how many leaders, how many directors one day? Okay, have that vision. All right. Be real. Be real about your expectations for your own leadership. And then you got to hold yourself accountable in that, okay? And your expectations even with your team. So you guys know the other day I went live about you making sure you contribute to the team page. That's an expectation Whitney and I have. We want this to be not the Ani and Whitney show. It's for all of us. So whether you think you're doing something small or big, share what you're doing, how you're leading. Today I checked in with my teamie. This was the conversation. I'm not even sure where to go from here. It's simple. Let us help you, okay? I did this and it was really successful with my girls. Okay, let us help you. Be real about what you're doing, all right? Be real about your boundaries. You need team hours. I know even as a lead consultant, I only have one teamie. I don't care. You need team hours because you have to make time for yourself. You cannot be Scentsy 24/7. It ain't healthy. You are more than just Scentsy. Okay. And that's a hard one for me because I love Scentsy so much. I will answer people all day long and all night long. But I've been very intentional about being real with those boundaries for the past 6 months. Be real with your boundaries on how your teamies treat you. They should not be talking to you any type of way. You are a human. You are an adult. Okay. Okay. They want to pop off sideways. That's a hard pass. We ain't doing that. Okay. We need to respect each other. This is a symbiotic relationship, right? Okay. We need to be respectful to one another. We are all adults. Okay. So there's that. All right. When your teammates come to you, be real and be honest. You do not have to be nasty. You do not have to be mean. Don't be nasty and mean because why? Rude. Okay. But you can still be real. All right. I actually just had 2 leaders tell me I'm done with Scentsy. I don't want to do it. Both of them. I'm like, listen, that's your choice. And I love you. And I support whatever you want to do. Your business. Again, it's your business, right? I support whatever you want to do. But I wanted them to both know you're not a bad leader because your teammates don't follow. That doesn't make you a bad leader. So I was very real and honest with them. You're not a bad leader, okay? But it's up to you with what you want to do. I want to support you. If you're like, my mental health just can't, I'm not in a place where I can, then don't. All right. But I also gave them their options. You can take a non-leadership role and still be on the team. You can turn that off, turn it on when you're ready to be a leader again. Okay. Be real and honest with them. All right. And be real and honest when it comes to your teammates saying they want something big. Okay. And if they're sitting there and they have maybe 20 PRV by the 15th of the month, they're inconsistently active, they never ever sponsor, and they never take what you give them to work with, you need to be real with them. You cannot waste your time. Okay. And that's not to be rude. It's honest. All right. So what do you say? You're not like, you suck, I'm not working with you. No, you would sit there and you'd be like, to be completely honest, until you are consistently active and you've put in place what we've already talked about, I really don't have anything else for you because that's where you need to be first. Once you do those things, I can help you to get to the next step. But we got to do the baby step first before we can just shoot for the stars. Okay? Duh. Why are we spinning our wheels with people who literally are not showing? Numbers don't lie. Okay? They're not showing up. They're not showing that they want something. Okay? But they're saying it. You can run your mouth all day long. Okay? Listen, my teenager will sit here all day long and he'll be like, yeah, I did my Latin. Until I go check that paper. Okay? Okay? No, you didn't do your Latin. You didn't. It doesn't lie. The paper doesn't lie. If I ask you a vocab word and you can't give it to me, you didn't do the work. I'm not going to quiz you until you've put in the work. Goodbye. Okay, and I'm nice with that to my teammates. But like, what are we doing here? I'm not wasting my time trying to quiz you on something you don't even know. You didn't even put the work in for. It's the same thing with your teammates. Okay? All right. Yes, girl, you got to know those things. You cannot pour more into people than they're willing to pour into themselves. Be honest with them. Okay? All right, next. Only a few more. Be real with who you surround yourself with. This is huge. This is huge. I'm so glad, Jessica, that I'm talking to you girls. I'm talking to myself. Y'all, this has been like a whole reflection journey. Okay? It's been a whole thing. You need to be real with who you surround yourself with. Okay? If you're surrounding yourself with people who cut corners, I don't know, for example, oh, yeah, I was almost active and I didn't need anything from Scentsy, but I just went ahead and put in an order for myself. Rather than being willing to do the work, and that's a consistent thing, guess what you're going to start doing? Cutting corners in your business. If you are surrounding yourself with people in the business who are lazy, and they're like, well, I really wanted to get 4 parties this month, but I really only asked 3 people. Boo, 3 people, 4 parties. Like, the math ain't adding up. Like, hold on now, because my 6-year-old could tell you that math isn't adding up, right? Guess what you're going to start doing? Okay? If you are surrounding yourself with people who are like, well, I should push myself a little harder, but I don't really want to, then you're not going to push yourself harder, okay? Where it's good for you. You have to know what's good for you. If you really are like, hold on, this person has goals way up here, and that's amazing for them, but mentally I cannot. If you're going to surround yourself with them, then you need to be okay with where you are, okay? I'll let you in on a little secret. You ready for this? I talk to these wonderful SSDs. I told you I'm Leader Me. I talk to these wonderful SSDs daily. Their goals are so big and so amazing. And my goals aren't the same. But again, I'm not producing and performing the way they are. Okay? My hands are in so many different things. I'm not producing and performing the way they are. I need to be able to be willing to be the dumbest person in the chat, which I am. I learn so much from them and it's amazing. Okay? But I also mentally need to prepare myself. Girl, you didn't get level 3 of this incentive, and every single one of them did. Still got the incentive, okay? But every single one of them got level 3. And at first I was sitting there and I was really kind of feeling like pity party on you. And then I thought, girl, you did not work as hard as they worked. Be honest. Like, I did not work as hard as they worked because I'm over here, Lord, doing vertices with my 10-year-old. Lord bless it. And Latin with my 13-year-old and getting him ready for science. Or I'm doing a whole bunch of other things, right? That literally take up my entire day. And then I have to make room to work Scentsy, okay? So I didn't work as hard as they did. It's just a fact. The way that they hustled to get to level 3 was amazing and so inspiring. But I didn't do that. And I need to mentally be okay with that, all right? So you got to be real with who you're surrounding yourself with. But I will tell you, I will always be willing to be the dumbest person in the room to learn and grow from other people, which you should too. You just have to mentally prepare yourself not to have a pity party if you didn't do the work, okay? All right. So just keep that in mind. If you're around people who are complaining all the time, you're going to complain all the time. If you're around those who start talking about being successful, okay, and they're wanting to be successful, like these awesome SSDs, they have big dreams and it's amazing, okay, but they've never once been like, wow, Anya, you really didn't live up to the rest of us. Wow, Anya, like, you should have worked a lot harder for level 3. Never once. Every little thing that I celebrate, even when they're celebrating big things, they are cheering me on. They are uplifting and encouraging me. And when I have a problem, I can go to them and I'm like, y'all, I'm struggling. They will be like, you know what? Let's brainstorm. Those are the type of people that you need in your life. And I'm going to tell you right now, especially in this business, you need to be around like-minded people. It will fuel you and spur you on. You need to listen to trainings that are going to uplift you. You need to listen to podcasts. And in your real life, if everybody in your family is negative, what we like to say in the military life is we get to choose our family because we're not by our family often. So choose some good family members. Go get involved in something positive, whether it be church or whatever, or art group, a climbing group, whatever it is. Go find some positive people to be around, and I promise you, your life will change. Check the 5 people you spend the most time with. Check them out. Really look at them, okay? Because if they're crappy people, My dad likes to say birds of a feather flock together. I'm not calling you crappy. I didn't say that because I don't know your situation, but I'm just saying it's contagious. Okay? Amber Ryan sent me something that basically was saying success is contagious. Okay? If you're hanging out with a bunch of people who eat healthy and are physically active, and that's something you're aspiring to be, guess what you're going to start doing? Your habits are going to start being that way too. Okay? So you've got to think about that. All right? Last one. Be willing to be realistic, okay, on social media. Be who you are in person and online. Should be the same. It should not, so often y'all saw it. It should not be completely two different people. It's not Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, okay? You should not be someone completely different in person than you are on social media, all right? I will say this. As Anya as a friend is very different, not very different, but different than Anya as a business owner, Anya as a leader, okay? I'm still going to be honest. I will find a nice way to say it. Sometimes it's going to take me a minute so I don't say it and come off crazy. I will find a nice way to say what needs to be said, okay? But I'm going to be honest regardless, all right? But I shouldn't be two, completely different people. Does that make sense? I shouldn't be excited and bubbly and ready to do all the things, and then when people join my team, I'm a downright B. What does that look like when your best customers join your team and they're like, whoa, I don't like this. Nope. And let me tell you something that's happened before. I've had someone leave Scentsy, okay? And their teammate came to me and was like, I'm so glad because who she was on social media that I joined is not the leader I got. You don't want that to be you. You've got to be authentic, okay? So be authentic to who you are. Whitney has a thing, what's it say, in her Instagram little caption bubble today that says, don't just do it for the gram, do it for you. So are you doing things to get attention just because it's social media? Or are you doing things that are authentic to who you are truly? Okay? So yes, it's harder. Yes, girl, you can't do that. It's too hard to be two different people. Who has time for that? Okay, for me, you're just going to get what you get. It ain't always pretty, but you get what you get, all right? So, on your social media, be who you truly are, okay? People will love you for you, I promise. No one can be a better you except for you. And you might try and copy and paste someone else, okay? But you're not them. And you'll always be the knockoff brand. Ugh, nobody wants that, okay? You'll be the cheap version. You don't want that. You can look at others and admire them and aspire to be certain things to be like them, right? But there still has to be a certain element of authenticity to who you truly are at your core. That's the best version of you, okay? So it is January. We are committing to being realistic in our personal business, our leadership, with ourselves, okay? Who we're surrounding ourselves with, and even on social media, all right? Our lives get better when we truly take a look within. So I love y'all. I hope that blessed y'all big. I encourage you to be yourself. You are wonderful just as you are. We all have room for growth and improvement. You're not alone, but you are wonderful just as you are, okay? Be authentically you and do the darn thing. Let's finish January strong. Love you guys.